In this video we'll demonstrate how to set up a new letter. Firstly, click on the My Clients tab and then choose whether you want to work with a new client or an existing client. Input the basic details into your new client, or in this instance, as we pull up an existing client, double check that those details are correct. And then ensure that the client needs and wants section are correctly aligned based on the advice that you're giving at this time. In the next step, simply select whether we're writing to the client as an individual or as partners, whether we should be addressing the client formally, and whether the client disclosed full details or whether it's a focused review. Insert the dates of any disclosure documents, the commissions, and choose the type of product for which we're writing a letter. Select the product provider name and the product name from the list. Once this is done, choose the client's risk level and move on to the next screen. This stage is where we select the client's objectives and the reasons for recommended product. A simple yes/no toggle system. Simply read through the objective list and the reason for recommended product, selecting the appropriate yes or no answer. If you want to add your own objectives or reasons for recommendation, simply click the Add Objective button and type the free text into the box. With this being a pension letter, check whether drawdown is included in the product and whether there's any shortfall in the client's retirement planning. We can then check the client's SERPS or state second pension status, whether they're contracted in, contracted out, whether they're remaining so or changing that position, and then just check that the alternatives that we've discounted as part of our advice are correct. As with many other areas of LetGen, it's possible to add your own free text alternatives. Simply click the Add Alternative button and include as many alternatives discounted as you would like. In the next stage, simply input the client's projections from their new plan quotation at 5%, 7% and 9%. Insert the date that they intend to retire and disclose who is going to receive the lump sum death benefits, if any, on the client's death. In the client objective screen, we chose in this instance that the client only wanted to review their existing pensions. As this is a transfer, we insert the current provider's details, such as provider name, policy number, current values and transfer values. This will also ask if the plan is paid up, whether there is waiver of premium or any indexation applied to the plan. We then insert the current funds that the client's pension is invested in as comma-separated values and percentages in this box. For example, XYZ Balance Managed Fund 50%, XYZ Cautious Managed Fund 50%. We're then asked to include the projected maturity values from the seeding scheme, and again, this is defaulted at 5%, 7% and 9% with the option to amend that should the providers not send that information through to us. We then ensure that the advantages and disadvantages of the transfer are going to be covered in the letter, using the familiar yes/no toggle system with the option to include our own free text wording should we so desire in the letter. There is the option to add as many SIPs as we need, based on the client's current circumstances and how many current pensions are being transferred, and then we're just asked to confirm whether we have like-for-like 7% projections from the seeding scheme and from the new provider. The next stage is to double check that the asset allocation and risk level is correct, and then we continue to preview the letter. The letter will include the asset allocation and fund selection, and you can make any free text alterations, amendments or variations before clicking PDF.